The Premier is with me. If you'd like to speak to John Brumby, 96900 693 or 13 13 32. Premier, welcome back.
Yeah, good morning, Neil.
Are you concerned by this series of leaks around the Royal Commission?
I think that'd be an understatement, Neil. I am gravely concerned about these leaks. I think they undermine the work of the Royal Commission. They cast, in part, a cloud, I think, over its work. They, through this leak, deny, I think, natural justice to any of the individuals that are named in Counsel Assisting's report. And I think to the public it probably presents a confusing message. I think this is not the finding of the Commission. I think it's so important to make that point. This is the submission from what's called Counsel Assisting, and his job is to put his views to the Commissioner about how he saw events, but his views are by no means tested. They're not proven. They're not found in a court of law. And the front page of today's Herald Sun in relation to Christine Nixon, quite unfair, quite inappropriate, defamatory in any other sense if somebody had said that outside a court of law. And I obviously hope that the Commission itself would take some steps to try and determine where this leak has come from. Now, it's not for me to set up an inquiry. It's not for me to tell the Commission how to do their work. They are the masters of their own destiny. But I think this is a most serious matter, as I've said, which, impugns the integrity of a whole range of people unfairly. This is not tested. This is not found. This is not a conclusion of a court of law. And the Commission needs to get to the bottom of it.
Have you discussed it with Bernie Teague at any stage?
No, I've not spoken to Bernie Teague since the Commission begun, and I've done that on advice that it's best if I don't, and that might draw people to the wrong conclusions.
No, fair enough. I made the point earlier that the people who benefit from this most is the government, because it takes the heat off you a bit. Has anybody in government, as far as you're aware, got copies of the submission?
I think the submission has been circulated. What occurs here? So there would be
been circulated within government.
There would be certain of the stakeholders who have copies of it, and government would be one of those, Neil. And government needs that because we've got to do our response. So over the weekend, and indeed for most of yesterday, I was working in part on our response to Counsel Assisting submission.
So had you seen the summing up, this summary?
I have seen it in part, yes.
Do you know how broadly it's circulated within government?
Oh, well, it's circulated to... you should ask the Commission those questions, Neil. They're not for me to answer.
No, but if you get a copy, then you could show it to other people, obviously.
Oh, well, we've seen many of Council submissions and none have leaked. And I would reject emphatically, Neil, your view that it's somehow to the government's advantage to leak this. I mean, the front page of the Herald, the Sunday Age yesterday, which again was completely false, was... Commission lashes Brumby. Well, it's not the Commission, it's Counsel Assisting. And by the way, they didn't lash me, but that's what the newspaper headline says.
But this takes the pressure off you in a sense. I'm not saying you leaked it, but and I'm not even saying anybody in government leaked it, but I'm saying there's one group that benefits from this leaking, which turns Christine Nixon into a scapegoat, and that's government. Because on Sunday it was you, now it's her.
Well, I think it would be wrong of you to draw that conclusion. That's all I can say. So,
well, will you investigate whether anybody in government leaked it?
Well, I've just said to you, it's not for me to tell the Commission what to do.
No, but that's a separate thing. I mean, obviously the Commission would be concerned, but the document has come into government at various levels, obviously. Will you just make sure it didn't go anywhere?
Hang on. You need to ask the Commission where it's been circulated. I don't have a list of where it's been circulated.
But you must know where it's been circulated within your government.
No, hang on. It's not just government that's got this document, right? True. There would be many stakeholders who have this document. So it's not for me to investigate it. I've made it very clear I think the Commission should do that, but that is a matter for the Commission. It is not for me to tell the Commission what to do.
But you are confident Neil, it hasn't come from government, is what you're saying?
We have kept our confidences the whole way through this process, so I would be confident that that is the case. But again, Neil, it's not for me to tell the Commission what to do, but my view would be, given the seriousness of this, they should take their own steps in relation to this matter. But I think, Neil, more significantly, like put all that aside, because at the end of the day, this is council assisting, and the Commission will draw its own conclusions.
Well, the Commissioner made that point on Sunday. He said this isn't a finding, this is a submission.
When we set the Commission up, and when I announced the Commission, just a matter of days after the fires, I said that they would have unfettered powers to look at every issue, but the real focus here was going forward, was to look at what it is that we need to do as a state to make sure that a fire like this will never happen again, and if a fire did occur, that we would minimise and hopefully completely eliminate any loss of life. That's what this was all about. I don't think, to be honest, it was about scapegoats or witch hunts or being obsessed with the past. It was about analysing what happened, what went wrong, what could be done better, and looking forward. Right? And I think, by the way, Neil, that's where the public's mind is at. Those circumstances on that day were the worst imaginable, worse than we've ever had. And so we need to learn from that, but we're not going to learn from that by finding scapegoats.
Okay. But if the system has failed,
yep,
we need to know that.
Yep.
Because it's your system.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. And
And you carry responsibility for it.
I've been completely open about this all the way through. So let's let the Commission do its work in its proper way to make sure that all the facts are on the table, and let the Commission draw its conclusions, which it will do at the end of July. But I think the public's interest, the state's interest, is in looking forward, in making sure that we've got the best possible arrangements and systems in place.